Welcome to the second, technically, episode of the Virtual Vibes podcast. No script, no structure, all vibes. How are we doing today, guys? What's up, everyone? Did you like that intro? Also, hello, who is this over here? Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Chiffon Chevalier. I am a Candyland Knight VTuber on Twitter and on Twitch. And yeah, I'm made out of cake. I like to play card games, or I play a lot of RPGs, and I make robots that you get to control through Twitch. They are part of my redeems. Hello.
And my personal favorite, he also does hand puppets.
Yo, hand puppets. I still gotta make Flandra for it. That'd be great. I also feature a second character on my stream. The princess is yet to be in puppet form. Mostly because I don't know how I'm gonna control everything in OBS with my feet.
Oh my
well,
God.
both hands are occupied. What am I gonna do? It's like there's two puppets. What do you do?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no. Holy moly, your friend sounds amazing, and his voice is better than. Bro, I'm aware of that. Bro has the voice of. It goes down. As, I was gonna make a candy pun, but then my brain was like, no. His voice.
You can make the candy pun. No. You can make the candy pun. Go for it. I am all for the puns, especially if they're in regards to food.
Let's go. His voice is as smooth as chocolate butter. That's not candy. Fuck. What's smooth?
Or whipped cream. You can go with whipped cream.
Whipped cream. There we go. You know what I mean. Anyway. Yeah, I think out of all the podcast people, probably you and I want to say Ren have the best voices for like a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
It's silky smooth. Makes my voice sound like ass in comparison, but that's fine.
I don't know. Maybe Zeph is collecting them. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Zeph is meant to be here, but I texted Zeph 2 hours ago. I was like, "Hey, we got the podcast. You good?" And she's like, "Yep, all good." And well, she's not here. Hopefully,
shame the audacity on this woman. Can't believe it.
I know, right? She was meant to be here in the last episode, but that was fine because she was having internet issues. But Ren is not having internet issues, so. She has no excuse. She's probably asleep or something. We have no idea. But me and Chiffon are going to carry. We have plenty to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. I even ran into too many things when we were getting ready where I was like 3 times. Hold on, I need to save this hot take for stream. I'm not going to save here.
See, yeah, that's the issue with like talking about shit beforehand. Is you're like, wait a minute, this would make for a good podcast.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta loosen a little bit. I get that.
Absolutely. But thanks for the loading. God, the YouTube emotes suck, man. They really do. But hey, we made it to episode 2. How many podcasts have failed that? Probably a lot. There are definitely a lot of podcasts that don't do that.
Oh, am I allowed to plug myself in your chat?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. My Twitch, and of course I have clips on YouTube as well. Although, I am trying to slowly gravitate the stuff that I make into, leaning into the sultry part of my voice, but that's a problem for future me.
See, I love the people like, oh my god, Chiffon's voice is so nice, but when you see like scared or surprised Chiffon, you're like, oh. It's screaming.
I mean, can they see us yet or not?
Yes, they can.
Hold on. I think I just got to refresh the page then.
You guys can see us, right? You should be.
Well, I don't know. I had the window open
yes,
myself, and I was just seeing a starting soon screen.
Yeah, YouTube's like that. If you have it in a tab, it whacks. You gotta click.
That's dumb.
You probably gotta click the live. They have a little live thing.
YouTube, fix this. Fix this,
YouTube,
please.
get on that, man. Come on.
You're better than this.
Come on, man. I mean, I still prefer YouTube over Twitch, just because of how they treat their creators. But
yeah,
streaming wise, if we're to talk about just how, like, regardless of how the companies are or how they treat their creators, but if you're just talking about how the like streaming is, Twitch is probably still the best, in my opinion.
I think for me, the problem is when I mentioned that I do like robots controlled through Twitch, right? They're on redeems, and that doesn't exist on YouTube. I need those. I need those to do anything I want to do on streams. It's like, what? Are they expecting me to switch to this because money, or is it because like it just has more options for me to play with? You know, which one do you really want? And personally, I already have a full-time job, so I don't really need to worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube definitely does gotta have like a... I mean, there are workarounds, but like the fact that you have to do a workaround, most people aren't gonna, be bothered to do that.
Yeah, that's not cool.
They really do need a channel point system. Like, come on. Twitch has stolen enough stuff from YouTube that I feel like it's fine if YouTube steals that one thing.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Just have it.
And even then, I know there's like those really weird workarounds, which are the like the janky points off of freaking Streamlabs or whatever. Those are really crappy.
Yeah. See, the only like point system I have is I use Blurp, which has that, and I can still do that via YouTube. But most people don't bother getting the extension or going to the site. Which, fair enough. But let's get into the spicy topic, shall we? Hey, what's up, Mira?
Spicy, sure.
So, I think it was either last week or... I think it was last week. Yeah, last week, I think. Fifi got banned on Twitch. Now, I think she said... For those that don't know who Fifi is, she's probably one of the biggest, like, lewd VTubers. Or LewdTuber, as they're often called.
Okay.
That just ever. I can't, at least for me, I can't think of a bigger LewdTuber than her. She's probably the biggest, I think, maybe. You've probably seen her on Twitter if you are a part of VTuber Twitter. Her tweets are there all the time. I mean, so at least for
personally,
me.
I kind of stopped spending belch there for a second. And hello, Mira. I kind of stopped spending a lot of time on Twitter. I found myself getting more and more depressed the more time I spent there.
Twitter sucks.
So I really just limited my time on there and be like, okay, like comment and like on the first 3 things that I see. Don't keep flicking that thumb of yours,
Yep, the good old doom scroll.
Yeah, don't go flicking your thumb too much. It's way too much for me. I end up spending all that time, and honestly, I'd rather just spend that time like being productive. I could have a way better breakfast every day if I choose not to scroll through Twitter.
Bro, just call me out.
Oh, are you
okay? Sometimes I do wake up,
and then you realize it's soggy by the time you start eating it.
See, I do the worst thing. I'm like, okay, I've woken up an hour before I go to stream because I always set them in the morning. I was like, okay, I got plenty of time to go eat and then make sure everything's set up. But let me check Twitter. The first thing because I have Twitter notifications, So I check my phone, I go into it, I'm like, okay, let me respond to these, and then I go on the little home tab where you see all your... No, I bet you no one goes anywhere other than the home tab. And then you see, for me at least, it's always some new VTuber drama. I swear it happens on the daily, every day.
I am so glad I don't see that anymore. So glad I don't. Maybe my habits have changed on Twitter enough for it to... Algorithm Chan being very kind to me instead of being like, here's a conflict, I know you want to argue.
See, it's so weird though, because I don't like it. I don't interact with it at all. I just scroll, I just see it, and I'm like, bruh, and then I scroll past it. And yet I still see it like every time I open Twitter. It's like, whoop, new VTuber drama.
You know, Twitter is recording your full thumb activity when you're scrolling, right? So if you're scrolling up and then you go back down and then back up, it knows you took a second take at that.
Man, sometimes I'm just like, I just want to look. I have a very like morbid curiosity with things. I like to know things, even if I don't like them. I just like to know. That's just how I am. So
no, and I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
It's just my curiosity ends up because I mentioned that I do make robots and stuff. I sometimes do research into like why it is certain algorithms are like this and stuff, and when you find out what it is that they're doing, what it is that they're actually recording, it's actually terrifying, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely imagine. I think TikTok's like the worst. Like TikTok has some pretty bad like stuff that it's able to do.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I heard.
But I know I'm dragging things off topic, though. What was the actual topic? I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. So, Fifi, very big LewdTuber. Basically, I believe she's from herself. I don't know if this is true. Again, I don't always trust what streamers say, especially if it's like something like this. She says the reason she was temp banned was I believe she plugged her Fansly.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
She what her fans?
So like I think it's called Fansly and it's like OnlyFans. And she plugged it. So she promoted it.
Okay.
But as someone that I was like, okay. So I checked in on, I just like watched just like a little stream clip, and then I watched like a bit of a stream to see if it was maybe just a once in a Fansly is OnlyFans' new name? What? Are they the same thing? I don't know about that one.
I think the original name sounds better, honestly, because it's easier to make fun of.
True. But yeah, I saw her streams, and basically her model is like so borderline naked that I'm just like, come on. Like, I get it. Like, if you're a LewdTuber, you want that, but at the same time, I'm like, you gotta think, am I spending $1,000 on a model only for me to get banned off of Twitch? Is that a smart idea? I personally don't. If I was a LewdTuber, I wouldn't be doing that. I believe most of the time she just wears like literally just a bikini, and it's like it has a toggle that she can just take it off, and I'm just like, it's such bordering
when you
on
say
the line.
A fine line, that's all it is a
literally, it's just a line. And sometimes she gets like very, very like way more close to like the line than I think she should. So personally, if like, Twitch was just like, no, the reason she was banned is because, how her model is. Because I've seen VTubers get banned for like a little bit of underboob. And she does more than that.
If I may, okay. For anybody out there who's really, really into watching VTubers for their nudes, if you're really into that, just straight up go to Chatterbait. I'm not joking. There are VTubers on there. Okay, I mean, I never hide the fact I'm a guy. It's kind of hard to hide, really. So you do stumble across those if you're ever like just browsing around. You'll find clips of those on like porn sites. I'm just saying, they're out there. You don't need to do that on YouTube. And what I mean when I say you, I mean like the VTuber. The VTuber does not have to do that on YouTube. They don't have to do it on Twitch. There are options for those people who really, really want to do that. So just do that there. You don't need it here.
I think again, this is like, take what I say here with a, look at it a little, because I haven't subscribed to her fansly, so I can only say so much based off of what I've heard. But I think she does also stream there, but her streams there are, what you would expect from those kind of sites. But at the same time, I'm like, if you also stream on Twitch, surely you would have a toggle that is a lot more... I don't know. I still think she like borders on the line, and Twitch has shown to be absolutely biased towards VTubers that show a little more skin.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm sure people have seen. It's been every time I go on Twitch, she's live, and it's in my recommended. I think that's just Twitch pushing that to everyone, because I'm not the only one that I've seen this recommended to. But there is some lady who is flesh tuber, for lack of a better word. IRL, real person. And she does body painting, but it's like, come on, bro.
On her boob.
We know why you're doing this. She's not hiding it. But Twitch allows that. She's like nude. It's just a body paint, so it's fine. But if a VTuber did that, no. That's a ban.
Okay, to be fair here, if a VTuber did body painting and it went on their body live while they're drawing it, that would be kind of nuts. That is really impressive. So cool. I would actually kind of want to watch that, actually.
Exactly, but it'll never happen.
Imagine the rigging on that. Oh my god.
I know. But Twitch sucks, so... I don't know. I think Twitch is extremely biased towards VTubers, because VTubers, there are a lot of female VTubers that have shown, some of them models have a little bit of cleavage, and they'll get like the ban for that. Meanwhile, there are full-on IRL streamers who go far beyond that, and they're fine. Hot tub streams, the ones. You know exactly what I'm talking about there. There are plenty of those. And there always have been, and it's just, I don't know. Basically, my hot take is if you're a LewdTuber, you want to be very careful with, if you also do like Twitch streams. If it was me, I'd be very careful about making sure your model is something that would be allowed on Twitch, and just go for you're better off being safer than getting a ban, in my opinion. So I get it. It's like, it shouldn't be the way that it is, because a lot of IRL people are allowed to do that. But it's just how it is. You just got to look at it realistically,
Well, I mean, I've seen some VTubers that are very modest in their designs, and they still get, decent traction.
Oh, absolutely.
There's something else about them that are like, it's not a necessary thing. Yeah. But people take that route because it's easy. Feel like, I think.
So here's my hot take, and this I think you're gonna agree with me, Chiffon, but this might be a little bit of a spicy take for some people. I think to get I guess a little extra boost for when you start VTubing, I think a lot of people become a LewdTuber, because it's a quick way to sort of reach a certain point. But I think it reaches a certain point. And I have seen a lot of people, once they reach the point of like the growth gets to a certain point, they stop being a LewdTuber, and I'm like, I get it. Go get that bag, do what you gotta do. But at the same time, you don't need to do that. But it is, I will say, I don't think it's a controversial, and I've seen a lot of LewdTubers deny this fact a lot, but I think it does give you a boost.
To me, that sounds like a strategy that they're kind of going with that risk. And I guess that's fair. They're allowed to do that, sure. But the problem I have with that is the the psychological damage you end up getting along with it. I don't know if that's weird to say, because like, I have several VTuber friends that they are, you know, still small. They're not lewd at all. But the moment they get like one person that goes like, "Oh my god, you're so beautiful. Please show me your feet." Then when that happens, immediately they just go like, "Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be streaming. This is weird. I don't know if I want to do that." You know, and you get creeped out. You get this weird, cautious, you know, you should stop what you're doing thing in your head. But if you're going with a LewdTuber route, then you start off on that path, right?
Yeah. Which a lot of people, I feel like they don't think about. And like, I know people, I'm not going to say any names, but I know people that have started off like that, and then they discovered, I don't like getting some of these messages. Let me not do this anymore. So they quit being a LewdTuber specifically for that.
So do you want to tank all of that psychological damage up front so that you could have enough growth to be at that point? But at that point, how damaged are you in your head, you know?
And not only that, but I also see it like the people that you do gain, the following that you gain, there are certain kind of people. And for me personally, I don't really want those kind of people following me. Personally, because a lot of them are, they're a little too freaky. They got a bit too much dip on the chip for me personally.
I mean, like, lewd jokes are fine, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine.
Lewd jokes are fine, but it's when you make yourself seem lewd, right? Because, like, that deniability is part of that persona as well. But when you're clearly not denying it at all, you know, I've seen those pictures of, like, "Oh, you all like the boobs. Here, this is where you put your credit card." Like,
yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. To me, when I see that, I'm just immediately like, okay, if you're not a nice person, I'm out. Get out of here.
Oh my god. Okay, this might be another hot take. This ain't even with LewdTubers, but the amount of VTubers I know. My fucking controller just fell off my desk. This is how passionate I am about this subject. I know so many VTubers that put on this nice ass front, and you know, they make tweets like they're a nice ass person, and yet I see, because I'm in some Discord servers with them, you know, I see how they are behind closed doors, and they're not nice people. A lot of people that put on a nice front online.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say, like, the psychological damage. What does it do to your personality? What does it do to you? Are you really losing yourself underneath that mask of your VTuber? You might be. And if you don't realize that's what's happening to you, then you're going to become a very mean and bitter person in the future. And I don't want that.
Yeah, no, I always, like, I mean, my chat in particular, they always humble me. I'll never get an ego so big that, you know, but there are definitely those that they don't get that, you know, they don't get that ego check. So I feel like, I don't know. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want that. That's the drama I don't need. I don't have the energy for that shit. But there are definitely people I know that I am in, you know, mutual spaces with them. So I see how they are behind closed doors as well as how they are, you know, just choose to present themselves publicly. And sometimes they're very different. Like, they'll put on a nice front, but behind closed doors, they're like, fuck, man. They literally only give a shit about people spending money on them. They don't actually give a shit about their community. They're just in it for the money, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if, you know, yeah, it's rough.
That's
rough.
So, like, I am friends with some lewd VTubers as well, but when, at least at the time that I met them, right, they were still kind and really nice people, right? But when you see that those signs when you try to meet them, and then they have those signs of taking that pill for lewd VTubing. It just raises so many red flags. I'm just like, not this again. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And if you see those, it keeps going too. I could see their like personality change, and it's like, no, I don't want to take. I don't want. This is not why I followed you, right?
Yeah, no. See, there are, and again, I just want to preface this because I feel like people could definitely misinterpret. We're not saying that every LewdTuber is like this. There are so many nice LewdTubers that I know and I'm friends with, and they're just actual like genuinely nice people. But I feel like this particular route, because of the way that I feel like your growth happens at a much faster rate, just because of that's just the way that it is. I feel like you're much more likely to, have a lot of these issues. I feel than if you just start, the default way, I guess.
Default. I don't know about default. I like
maybe
how
not
you call
default.
it default.
Probably the first ever. Who was that? No, actually, no. I'm gonna say it is the default because the first ever VTuber really was Kizuno Ai. I think. I believe she was the first.
I think so.
Definitely one of, if not the first. I don't think she ever did any lewd stuff. I think.
I mean, the rate at which people lewd that character back then, it was like warp speed. It was crazy fast. She didn't need to do that herself. People did it for her because she was the first one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of like even the HoloLive people. None of them are like LewdTubers, but they definitely have. There are people that are in it just for that, for the fan art and shit. And sometimes they do play into that. I do notice that they definitely play into that a little bit. For those that watch for that, but which I mean. I
mean, that's fine because they're not the ones that are actually looting it. They're just like
they're not the ones doing it. But I also feel like it. I don't know. You got to be very careful about the things that you play into. I feel, and the kind of audience that you play into, because it, at certain points, certain people it can be problematic. I feel.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, but
Body Pillow's merch. Body Pillow merch is such an ego boost. Is it? I mean, yeah. I guess.
Okay, but I mean, if you made your own body pillow merch, right? If you made your own.
See, okay, me personally, I would never make like a legitimate body pillow. I would make a meme body pillow where it's just like it's as a joke, but it wouldn't be like me. Unless it's in like a funny pose or something. I don't think I would ever personally like do that.
If I ever made a body pillow merch, honestly, it would probably be like the fact I'm in Candyland. I would make it like an ice cream sandwich or something. Or you're going to be hugging a popsicle.
Dude, that sounds
right.
That.
Yeah, you would be hugging a popsicle or something.
Exactly.
I think that would be hilarious. And at the bottom of it, the little stick bit is just like a little small pillow that's like out of the bottom of the zipper or something. That's what I would do. It's like I would make it a body pillow, but make it so that the stuff that you buy are closer to my theming, but not necessarily me. You know?
Yeah. I get that.
I think that's the advantage of my theming, I guess. I don't know.
I totally get that. But I suppose we'll dive into because this topic is kind of sort of. It's about VTubers. That's really the only connection, I guess. But TwitchCon also happened recently, so I saw a lot of VTubers, at least on my timeline. I saw a lot of VTubers go, and a lot of them did face reveals specifically for this. And I guess I was like, that's an interesting topic. Because Chiffon, have you ever shown your face?
I have previously, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Before being Chiffon, I did my streams in cosplay and made props like with like full body cam while making it, but I I decided against it ever since I got one creeper on Instagram, and I'm like, no. Yeah.
Yeah. So. See, if I ever do a face reveal, and I'll be honest, I'll probably do it at some point. I don't know when that point is, but I think it's probably at the point where the amount of people trying to find out what I look like, the creepness level takes over the appeal you get from hiding your face. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. There is definitely appeal from people like, oh, I want to see the mystery. Who's behind the model? You know. So I'm gonna be real. That's a lot of the reason I don't. But also, I like my privacy. I don't want people coming up to me in public and just being like, "Hey, you're that VTuber guy." And I'm just like, "Whoa, hey, man, I'm just trying to like shop."
I did my face reveal. So like, when you say they do their face reveal at TwitchCon, you mean like in person? Because I wasn't keeping up with that at all.
No. Like before they went to TwitchCon, they would like post a picture of their face. So they're like, "Oh, hey, this is me. I'm going to TwitchCon. If you see me at TwitchCon, say hi." I saw a lot of VTubers do that.
I have a little bit of story akin to that, not necessarily the actual TwitchCon itself, but last July, there was a very, very last minute gathering that was set up during Anime Expo in Southern California, largest anime convention in the United States, and that gathering was for indie VTubers gathering in person. And I got a random, I guess it was random. I'm pretty sure they just Googled, they X searched VTuber Anime Expo or something like that, right? And because I put it in like a tweet or something, there was a message saying, "Hey, I'm starting a group to do this this meet at Anime Expo. I believe you're going. Would you like to meet up?" And my first response is like, I mean, that's nice, but can I have a Discord call with you first? Because I have never met you. Who the hell are you? Yeah. Like, who is this? Can I have a, like, I just met you. Are you sure you want to do that?
That's a red flag from me. Like, I need to get to know you as a person before I like
meet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did the deflective thing and being like, "Oh no, there's gonna be tons of people. Don't worry. It's gonna be very like it's an event thing." And I'm like, "All right, sure. I'll tread lightly. What's going on here?" Well, they sent me like a Discord server invite for that group, and in that group, I don't know anybody in there. I don't know anyone. I'm like, okay, am I really looking forward to doing this or not? Because guess what? It was in the actual itinerary at Anime Expo. Like, it shows its itinerary for like scheduling for a lot of stuff, including gathering locations, and it was on there saying it was hosted by that person. So it was a legit thing, right? It is completely legit. Well, it was maybe, I want to say 3 weeks when I joined that group, and I didn't know anybody. And to me, I'm just like, I don't want to go and just be completely casual with things. What happens when you go to a gathering event and you do it completely casual? What happens is you trade follows with each other, right? That's it.
Oh, that's it? I was like, wait.
That's usually it. I mean, you're not going to take pictures, right? God, you're not going to take pictures.
Yeah.
Well, what are you really going to do? What are you going to accomplish going to this event? Really? What are you going to accomplish? You're going to trade follows. You're asking another VTuber to follow you. VTubers are busy. They stream. They have lives. You know, you should be like trying to outreach to people that watch VTubers, not just other VTubers, right? So I was not very motivated to go. But one person in that server actually went and watched my stream a little bit and said hi, and we DM'd each other a little bit. And I was immediately like, okay, finally, I've got somebody here I could actually look forward to meeting, right? I have a name. I could be like, you are this person. Awesome. And I could meet you. Right now I have something to look forward to. It's not just, keep it casual. No. When things are too casual, nothing gets accomplished. So I wanted to say, like, we're going to meet each other. Okay. We meet each other. And, like, there's maybe 30 of us there in this group, right? Some people go like, oh my god, you're this person! Like, talking to some other people, because they're, like, more popular or whatever. And I'm looking at this person and I'm like, I don't watch her channel. I don't watch her channel, but I mean, I look at them and I'm like, are they going to be nice to me if I talk to them? And so I talk to them, and they're distracting us with donuts. I mean, that's nice and all. Don't get me wrong. But if I wanted donuts, I could get that from my boss at work, right? Because, like, I don't know. I felt like that was an easy way to deflect the conversations with people when you go, oh, here, have a donut. I mean, it sounds nice on paper, but if you wanted to actually, like, talk to them, it's like, that's an easy way to bounce that off.
Yeah. I feel like, definitely. I definitely feel like people just do that so they can get a follow and then dip. So, like, I'm not going to talk to these people. I'm going to offer them donuts so I just get the follower. I don't have to talk to one and I can get out of there.
I did eventually bump into them again at, like, another Discord server, and I wanted to say hi. They deleted that channel. The host of that server deleted the channel, so that no longer exists anymore. So, what do you know? I have since left that Discord server because I didn't feel like there was any sort of real interaction outside of the follow trades. And like, one person that I actually wanted to talk to, at least we do DM each other a little bit. We're still kind of friends, so that's nice. But I don't think I would have had a good time there if it weren't for that person.
See, you're better than me though, because even with that, I still wouldn't have gone. I'm just like, meh. It just, I don't know. It's like a, not even a social event. It's like a, I don't know what the term is, but it's just like, it just seems like a way to, I guess, get connections.
It is.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to have at least one person to actually meet. Right? Like, you need to have that thing to sort of anchor your motives to some extent. Because when there's no motivation to do anything, then it's like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. See, I've never had to have any of these experiences because where I am, I mean, there are cons in Australia, but where I am in Australia, there are no conventions. I've never been to a single convention.
Ooh.
And that's not like because I wouldn't want to go to one. That's just there are none. There is fuck all.
Wow, that's sad. Really. I feel for you, man. That's so rough.
Yeah, so it's like
to have that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if someone told me I was the only VTuber in like my entire state, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. I've never met anyone that is near me. Everyone's like, I've gotten Australian VTubers, and there was one like group of Australian VTubers that like invited me, and they're like, hey man, we're gonna we want to meet up. We want to meet up in Sydney. I was like, that's like really far from me. I'm
guessing you're on like the west coast of it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a West Aussie, so which people are like, oh my god, location. West Australia is like half the country, so good luck finding.
I have one person that I know is in West Australia, other than you. So
are they
who
VTubers?
knows? Maybe. Yes.
I might not be alone. But again, West Australia is like half the country, so.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't really help all that much.
No, because I feel like if you're an American, you're like, oh, a state. Okay, that's an area.
Yeah, I know they don't work that way everywhere.
No.
I'm aware.
We have Australia has like a total of, I want to say
Four.
No, more than that, like six, 7 states maybe.
I guess. Do you count New Zealand? Because New Zealand is a whole other country.
Fuck
but
New
it's
Zealanders.
the same continent.
Fuck
I guess
them.
I don't know.
They suck. Because we have is Tasmania insurance? See, Americans must be like, what? You don't even know your own states and shit? It does not. We don't care in Australia. We don't care. There's not enough for us to really care. And then we also have, because we have states, but we also have like territories, which are their own thing.
Yeah, and besides, like more than half of the freaking continent.
But yeah, basically
like
West Australia is like the biggest state, and it's like half the country. So if I say I am in that, go ahead. If you want to find me that bad, you want to search half an entire fucking country, power to you, man. That's
Okay, well,
I'm not really concerned about that.
Like for me, on my example, I'm in California, and I only say that because, well, my time zone is a public thing. I tell people that I'm Pacific, you know, and their very first instinct is, you're in California.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's like 3 states in the US, there's like 2 parts of Canada, and like what, a tiny bit of Mexico, I guess, and that's it. And I'm in the most populated area of that, so it's just like, yeah, that's
I feel like California it's a big enough place, and it's got enough people in it that it would still be very difficult to find you. Yeah. So you're fine. But yeah, like I guarantee there's probably more people in California than like most of the states in Australia combined.
Probably.
So I think the US is like the 3rd most populated country in the world. I think.
Well, I mean, let's just say that in California, you know, when you go into like, when you go and drive into the state, there is a little sign that usually says like, you are now leaving your state. Welcome to blah blah blah. Right. For California, it may as well say, bring your money but don't move here. It may as well say that.
Yeah, especially if I've only heard bad things about LA.
It is you don't want to live in California. Okay. Honestly, my reason for being here is like work, but we have other branches in other states, and I'd rather just go over there, honestly, if they give me the option.
Yes, I live in Cali, and it's super expensive, but I wouldn't move anywhere else. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in Cali hate California, but they're like, I can't move, I can't leave.
It's because of the work opportunities here. If you get one, it's kind of hard to replace it, you know?
Yeah. We don't really have that here. I'm as soon as I can, I'm leaving this country, bro. I'm out.
Yeah, just don't go to California. Just don't go to California.
I mean, I'd like to like visit. It's just I don't know.
Oh yeah, visit.
But
that's
no,
fine. Like I said,
never want to
bring your money. Just don't move here.
Yeah, exactly. I had an experience where I was at a con and I was working volunteer work, and I ran into a person who randomly asked me which LewdTuber did I get VIP, because stuff has VIP, but still, that's why.
Wow. I like how it's assumed it's VTuber. Oh no.
Yeah.
Cali is like the jackpot. Yeah. If you get a good job and you get a decent like method of living here, means of living here, you are in a great position. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but a lot of people just don't.
Yeah, especially for people that do what we do, for like content creation and stuff. I feel like it's a good place to be, just because of the amount of opportunities there are for that in particular.
I disagree.
Oh, really?
I totally disagree, honestly. I think the content creation in this time zone is the most unbelievably over competitive space there is.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, because like people generally speaking, I'm guessing here, the general 9 to 5 for a lot of people, that's how they work, right? General 9 to 5. Well, you get out of work at 5, you might need like, I don't know, 30 minutes to get home, and you might need 30 minutes to eat something, and maybe 30 minutes to prepare for stream, right? So that's maybe a 6:30-ish time frame. Well, 6:30 in California is about 9:30 on the East Coast. What population is after the Pacific time zone? There's nothing there. It's water. The next time zone is another 4 hours away. In the opposite direction. It's not even 4 hours away. It's like 9 hours, 15 hours in the other direction, because they're in the future, right? Yeah, you're going to be getting people like Japan and Australia and Philippines, those time zones. But you need to be streaming like super late to catch them.
Yeah.
I'd wager the very successful people that do stream in my time zone are more likely people that stay up until like midnight to stream, or maybe they stream very early to catch people that are coming out of the 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I mean,
oh, there you go. I just said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to stream in the morning. Most people
I
don't
definitely
have the
think
opportunity if you work.
If you're not a full-time streamer, you also have to do, which is probably the majority. I mean, it's a big group, but it's still a very small group in comparison to everyone. Those that are lucky enough to do this kind of thing full time. In that case, they're lucky enough they don't really have to care about, they could just stream whenever the fuck. But definitely for the majority.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's rough.
And I think the phrasing full-time streamer is a misnomer, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because I mean, full-time. It kind of means whatever you want it to mean, really. There are definitely those that do actually stream like every day for long hours, but I feel like a lot of the majority just stream every now and then.
When you say like full-time, in my head, I think 40 hours a week, right? That's in my head what that full-time means. 40 hours a week. And that's not necessarily streaming. That's like video editing and all that other stuff that comes along with it. But when it comes to somebody saying I do something full-time, that also assumes you're getting paid to survive. Your lifestyle is supported by the streaming, which, let's be honest here, you're going to need like 800 subs on Twitch.
It's a ridiculous amount.
Every month to survive to pay rent. Are you serious? It's like,
almost every, in quotation marks, full-time streamer does, YouTube on the side or like TikTok and stuff, where they get, that's where most of their revenue comes from, or they have sponsorships or like merch or whatever. Because I'll be honest, especially on Twitch these days, streaming does not pay well. For the amount of hours you do, for the average, unless you're like the big streamers where they get like tons of subs and shit, your pay's not that good. It's pretty bad. And most people, you can't even live off that. You have to do, some people, again, there are people that do a 9 to 5 with it because, it just does not make enough money.
I think the fact that you have to depend on somebody else is a major problem, right? Because the way I even made it earlier today, actually, I could show it right here, couldn't I? Hold on.
Yes, you can.
Where did I put that image?
Think about streaming and making videos.
Buy time while I'm looking.
Yeah.
Buy time while I'm looking for it.
I mean, making videos, I feel like is YouTube over like, and I'm not talking about YouTube streaming. I'm just going to talk specifically about like videos. I feel like that's a lot more secure than streaming because, I mean, yes, you're technically relying on people, but also YouTube does, yeah, unless you do shit to absolutely just fall off. It's a lot more secure than streaming, in my opinion. But
okay, I shared the image.
No,
it should show up in a moment, or
leave like and retweet. New Immortal gets it. I like that. I did see that.
Well, I mean, isn't that what people do? I mean, I was trying to make satire of what the hot habits of the community are.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this might get a little controversial, but I did see something. I forget exactly where I saw it, but I did see a thing that was like, it was basically like a VTuber or like a streamer basically just saying how tired they are of people being like, oh, stop begging for people to sub and shit. And they're like, oh, you know, it's stupid to say that because we, you know, it's our job. That's literally what we have to do to make a living. Meanwhile, you get to consume all of our shit for absolutely free. Like, we put in all this time and you could just get all of it for free. And I'm like, I get that, but at the same time, I don't know. It's complicated. I just feel like...
no, I'm just gonna run with that hot take because personally, me, I embrace our... you've been hearing about this, right? I'm sure you have. AI influencers, right? I personally embrace it because...
Really?
Listen, right?
Okay.
When people start to realize that it's really dumb that they are competing with these things that can never age, they're always beautiful, and they're always going to have like an infinite amount of content to be able to make, and they're going to just get their ass beat by these AI things, they'll realize they actually have to be productive people in society to make a difference. When people realize that that's what really matters, that you have to be productive in society to do something, then we're gonna have like imagine what the future could be like if people didn't compete so much or try so hard to take money from other people, right?
Yeah,
I mean, come on, like,
I mean,
actually produce something of like larger value than something on YouTube. I know that's weird coming from the guy that's a VTuber, but I mean, that's where my hobbies lie.
I agree with bits and pieces of the take. Like, I definitely think, I will say, God, what is the VTuber's name? I think it's like Neuer or something. They're a VTuber that is AI. Completely AI. And I'm gonna be honest, I've caught some of their clips. It's entertaining as hell, dude. Like, and the entertainment value is because they're an AI, so it's like, you can't compete with that because it's...
Yeah.
Unless you're an AI, it's just, it ain't gonna, you can't compete with that.
That's why I say, like, we should have more people being like, have you seen those like, there was a TikTok like freaking ages ago, I remember seeing it, said something like, can you please stop trying to be influencers? We need people to be able to pick up our trash and build buildings, and we need construction workers, we need carpenters, we need plumbers, we need electricians.
I definitely see that, but at the same time, I feel like there are a lot of content creators these days, but I feel like when you compare it to the overwhelming like majority of people, I feel like the amount of people that choose to go into this thing are very small, and the amount of people that even then, within that small amount of people, there are majority of them don't end up sticking with it because, you know, sadly, it's just the way it is. A lot of people don't make it to a point where they can do this full time. They're like, all right, this thing ain't panning out. Let me go fix some toilets. You know, that's just the way that it is. Sadly.
Okay, look, I mean, the next time you need your house re-roofed, right, and they're able to charge you $300,000
Oh, you know, it's
for
crazy.
repairing it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, blame the fact there's not enough carpenters out there to compete to drive down the price, right? Because that's how I see it. Like, the real practical things in the real world should take priority over anything that's online. Like, that is all necessary stuff. I want to have working electricity, or otherwise you can't even have VTubers. What do you know? We need running electricity. We need internet working. We need those things. And like, those of us that have full-time jobs that are also like VTubers, I mean, good on you. You could keep doing what you want, but like, if you're choosing to pursue being a content creator, trying to do it to, pay for your lifestyle, if you make it, you make it. But other people, like,
majority of people don't. It's a very small amount.
Majority of people don't. And when you don't, like, gotta do something for your money. And if you're not going to be trying to be productive somewhere else, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. See, I'm young enough where I'm like, I don't have to worry about that yet. Like, if this shit don't work out, that's fine. I got options. But yeah, for people that are of a certain age, it's definitely.
Well, because I'm of that age. Spoiler alert. Rio and I are very age different.
I'm the baby.
I'm 33, so.
And I'm 20.
Yeah. Being somebody older and having to deal with real life, it's like you gotta understand the truth of things. I'm sorry. Reality will always find a way to kick you in the ass.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Reality has a nice way of humbling you.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I also feel like it's funny you brought up we rely on lots of stuff to even be VTubers ourselves, because that also makes me want to bring up, I kind of briefly talked about it last episode, but I find it so weird, and this has, again, going back to AI as well, so many people use, like VTubers in particular, use AI art, and I will never ever understand it, because without the art community as a whole, I mean, maybe there's a couple that aren't against it, but I feel like the overwhelming majority are so against AI because it steals people's art, and I mean, realistically, it's not making anything original. It's just using what it's taken and mishmashing it into a new thing. To a degree, that's oversimplifying it.
So, what is your hot take on it? What is
my
your
hot take is, I think it's stupid, and if you as a VTuber are posting AI art, I think you're a clown. Because we as a whole, we wouldn't be us without the art community. So for you to do something that the art community is so vehemently against, I just don't like, how is every artist ever not just like not respect you after that? And it's like, I don't know, if I was an artist that made VTuber models and someone commissioned me that posts AI art, I'd just be like, nah, I'm sorry. Move on. I ain't supporting it.
Maybe I'm the one here with the hotter take. I don't know. So if I may,
go off.
The biggest advantage I see AI art, that is, how do I say this? That nobody wants to talk about. I don't know why, but there was a ruling in terms of law, like the actual law about AI art, and gets to actually own it. Turns out, you basically cannot be sued for using AI art as your own. And because of that,
for now, yeah.
For now, which means that there's a huge amount of liability that you're able to collect, and that in itself is a massive improvement for people. Let's be honest here. Like, the fact that you are able to get an AI art, print it out, and sell that as like actual, merchandising, that is something that a lot of people just really cannot really justify to a lot of things, right? Like, so biggest example I have is that I've got an RC Roomba that I have. It's an actual like Roomba they modified to be an RC car that sweeps my floor. I can show it if you like, but I don't think that works. Wait a minute. Hold on. I can show it. What am I talking
like
about?
A video song.
Yeah, hold on. I can send a picture. I could totally do that. Where is it? Camera roll. Freaking. I know I put it on Twitter. I'm just gonna keep scrolling. I don't know.
That's honestly how I find images. I'm like, there's too many images on my computer. I'm just gonna scroll through Twitter. I posted it somewhere.
Oh, here it is. Copy. And okay. So if I bring this to a convention, I mean, it's not showing yet, but give it a moment. If I bring this to a convention, I can't get in trouble for like having this character on my thing, right? So if you wanted AI art to be, what's wrong?
Well, when I see it,
Is it not showing?
No, not yet. Unless, hold on, maybe let me. Probably this is scuffing up. There we go. Yeah. I mean, is it AI?
Yeah, that's AI art.
See, no, but again, I feel like these are very early. No, because you're not really like selling it or repurposing it. You're not like selling it for your own benefit. So I guess that's fine. But again,
you can use it for things that are like, I don't know. That makes it easy for you to deflect the responsibility of having that print. That's what I would say.
There are, and I guarantee, in fact, I am aware that there are VTubers that use AI art and put it on merch and shit and sell that, which technically, yes, there are no legal ramifications yet. I think there will be eventually, hopefully.
Agreed.
But again, for me, it's more of a moral thing. And a respect thing. Like, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't even exist if it weren't for artists. I wouldn't be able to be a VTuber without artists. So for me to use something that hurts them, like, technically, yes, there is nothing stopping me. It's fully legal for me to do so, but I guess from a moral standpoint, I just refuse to do it because...
Oh yeah, I agree with you there wholeheartedly. It is not a very moral thing to use the option of these particular things, no. I mean, you're going to be putting it on something like what I'm doing here, of like... I think that's slapping on some character onto something that is for personal use, but like if I take it to some public thing or whatever, they can't actually consume me about it or that. Let's say if you wanted to have a character on your car, like those anime cars that have like full anime girl on the side, that full sticker thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That artwork is so stupidly expensive. But you still want an anime character, but you don't want it to be like a particular anime character. I would recommend you try using AI art and with like heavy amounts of copious Photoshop to get it to look good. And then you like mash and mold it into the shape that would fit on your car. I would say go for that because you're not exactly like advertising anything in particular. It's like a personal art piece that you're putting on something.
I mean, I don't think you would need to. I think you could just take art because you're not exactly selling it. So I think it's like... Oh no,
you still need it because the amount of... Okay, so I know a lot of guys that in real life that have Itasha cars. They need to get like a very... They have to comb through a lot of artwork to find the right one. They have to like Photoshop it to be in the right shape that would make sense to fit on a car. Because remember, your canvas is not like flat square. It's the shape of a car. That's your canvas. So it requires like a lot of stuff to go through to make sure it fits right. And I think they pay a lot just for the artwork in itself to be the right shape that fits on the car. Then when they print it, right, there's like a special printing company that does the prints for Itasha's. And then they slap those on because they have to like do the weird geometrical analysis and all that other stuff on to make sure it fits right. It's crazy. But they do it. They have it. And
yeah,
really quick note about that. Those guys that do the designs for the stickers that make it into the right shape, they are also the ones that could ETA about anything. I had a buddy who did that for his PC. So he got the it was from Concole collection, I forgot, but he ETA'd up his entire PC, so it's got waifus all over it that match the shape of it. I got a guy who ETA'd his guitar, so he has like an anime girl guitar on it. He was a K-On! Fan, so we had K-On! On there. Of course,
okay,
K-On!, right. And I had somebody they ETA'd a model of I think it was some battleship, right? And they put Concole collection on that one too. They put it was in World of Warships. Okay, there was a World of Warships, and they had a skin for that, and they put that on the actual model that they had physically by ordering that. And I was like, no, that's awesome. You could eat that just about anything if you go to the right print shop. It's amazing. But they need to offer the services to make it match that surface.
Yeah.
And you either have to give them like a crazy amount of measurements, you have to give them the exact make and model of something they could get the factory shape on, or you have to get it 3D scanned.
Yeah. Otherwise shit's so gonna just not pan out. And even then, I feel like you definitely gotta make the images work, because otherwise they're gonna look all stretched and more.
Exactly the problem. That you have to have a custom art for that, but it has to be like custom enough because the holes of the cars for the wheels are there, the handlebars, those cutouts need to be there too, all that other stuff.
Yeah, but I guess going back to like the AI art thing, I definitely think I don't know. It's a moral thing. I think if it's for your own personal use, I think it's like, I mean, there's still a level of morality to it that's like, you're still technically using something that steals from artists. But I mean, let's be real. Even if people deny that they use it, they probably still use it. For their own personal use. That's just the way it is.
I mean, I use a lot of AI art tools. I don't know if those count, right?
I think that's different. I think that's because you can use AI as a tool to aid in making something, but I think if you just like AI does everything, I think then it's like,
Yeah, that. Like
I don't know. I'm very much like sure, something like for example, Nero, who is an AI VTuber, that's very entertaining and all that, but at the same time, it's like the reason she's entertaining is because of the person that has programmed her, and that's that human touch. I feel like I don't know, like for something to be good, at least for now, until AI gets to a point where it's like indistinguishable, I definitely think for the majority of just any AI use, it needs a little bit of human touch to be good, in my opinion. Especially with like anime art, because like if you've ever made like an anime character with AI, that shit it always comes out a little fucked up.
Well,
it's always the hands.
You see on screen. The thing that you see on screen there, I made very sure that on the negative prompt, I wrote the word hands in there. Don't show her hands. Don't show me that. It looked terrible.
His hands are terrible. I've seen a lot of like pupils, or like they're not facing the right way. I've seen a lot of.
Okay, well, I will. Okay, so this particular AI art that's on my Roomba, I actually went back in and I photoshopped the eye and copied it to the other side, so they matched. So That is
I mean,
that is
I can
cheesed
even,
a little bit.
I can even tell with just like the little, I don't know what you would call this, but like the little like square frilly bit.
Yeah.
You can tell that's AI.
Yeah,
because like no human draws like that. And if you do, you're
agreed.
Like, yeah. So you can, if you just look at art, you can tell for now. But it's definitely gonna get. Also, is her elbow? I just realized she has an elbow outline.
I'm sorry. What?
Wait, am I tripping? Or is that not an elbow outline, but her elbow is facing the other way?
I guess you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So unless her arm is like tilted like the complete opposite direction, I mean, maybe she's a broken arm. I don't know. But again, if you don't really like look at it, you won't notice. But if you look at it, a little, yeah, it's If it's for something that's not meant to be looked at closely, it's fine.
I just wanted a zero liability anime maid waifu with hair on my Roomba. That's all they wanted.
Oh, actually, this is gonna be a hot take. See, if I had any of the, because there are artists that are part of the podcast, Sachi and Krim in particular. Also, Zeph is an artist, who is still not here. God damn it.
Where is she?
But okay, might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think for a lot of artists, I would say they overcharge, especially if you are a beginning. Like if I was starting as an artist, I would undercharge just so. I mean, this again, it's me personally. I would undercharge because I'm not going to be like enough of an ego to be like, oh, my art's so amazing. You know, sure, this is the first time I've ever done art and I've like sold it. I'm going to charge people a shit ton of money for this. Whereas if I'm starting out, I'm gonna not charge people that crazy. Exactly. So my editor Josh, who is, you know, I think I'm probably his first ever like actual like someone to edit for. He doesn't get paid. He's all volunteered. Until I get monetization. Help your boy out. But like, I don't know, I feel like you kind of got to do that so you get experience, you get your name out there. Because yes, while I agree you should be getting paid for the art that you do, I think you're much less likely to get people to purchase your art, especially if you're a beginner and your art's not like at a level where it's like a professional like level. I don't think you're going to get as many commissions as a lot of people think they will.
Okay, so I've actually been through this myself. Now, I'm not an actual artist in terms of like digital art, but I am a prop maker for cosplays and stuff. And like first starting off streaming, I thought I was gonna be like, I'm gonna make cosplay props on stream, that'll be my thing. Turns out it's expensive to do that, just straight up for just making props in general. And I was like, you know, I can't actually do this. Okay, what am I gonna do in terms of like when they're done? What happens? Like, I'm not gonna cosplay each and every single one of these characters that are really cool. What do you do? So I just figured, oh, since I'm gonna be a VTuber, why not just make cosplay props for other VTubers? That sounds really cool. Let's do that. Well, I came across a few walls, and that's the fact that most people don't know who you are or how it is that you make those things, because there's never any credits on those art pieces that you make, right? You're not gonna go into a convention, see somebody, and they're not gonna have like a thing on the side saying, "Oh, this was made by somebody that's not me," right? It doesn't say that.
Yeah.
So what do? I ended up coming up with another wall of a lot of people online, surprise, surprise, do not want to give you their address. I know, shocker, right? Shocker. It's like, oh, I made this thing for you. It's really cool. by the way, I'm gonna need your 3 measurements so it could fit you while I'm making it. I was like, what?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, you're not gonna be able to do that. That's so weird. So I ended up having to switch over to doing other skill sets for when I was making things. But it is an actual like art piece, right? It just so happens that it's a physical item, which, by the way, I did manage to give like 3, 1, 2, yeah, I managed to give 3 props to people in real life. So I have stories for each of them. I don't know if that's necessarily for right now, but yeah. I also have a skill set in real life, right, where I have to actually, like, because I'm an engineer in real life. IRL Chiffon sometimes needs to do cost estimating for certain things. So when I see somebody that's like wants to do art, right off the bat, I'm gonna be like, what country and state do you live in within there? What is the minimum dollar like income rate there? What is the minimum wage there? It's like $15 an hour. I don't know, right? And if it takes you 5 hours to make that, then what is 5 times 15? Take that, and that is like the MSRP. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the MSRP of your right there, and just be like, okay, you can go high, you can go low, depending on your
I definitely think it's a thing where you're gonna be, to begin with, I think you should underpay yourself just to get. Agreed. Because yes, it sucks, and you shouldn't be getting paid that amount, but that's just the way that it is. Otherwise, you're not gonna get anyone. Especially if you're beginning as an artist. Because let's be honest, no one comes out the womb being like Da Vinci. You got to get your art to a point, and a lot of people, when they start commissioning art, their art still has room to improve. And even amazing artists still have room to improve. If you ask them, like for me, I'd say, no, your art is godlike. What are you talking about? And they're like, no, my art is shit. I have so much room to improve. And I'm like, so I feel like if you're definitely beginning, and you're trying to commission people crazy amount, like you're working out, like Chiffon said, you're doing the, like, you know, minimum wage times 5 because you spent 5 hours on it. I don't think you're going to get a lot of commissions. I think people are just going to go, hey, you know what? The AI art kind of looks a little better because it's taken resources from people that are at a much higher artistic level than you currently are. Plus, it's free. They're just going to do that. And they get it instantly, you know? So I think... Look, I'm not saying that it's the way that it should be, but it's the way that it is. You got to, again, like kind of the theme of this, you got to think realistically. In reality, people aren't... more often than not, people aren't moral, so they're not going to give a shit. So I think, to begin with, you got to definitely, like, undersell yourself.
Real life doesn't really give a crap about you most of the time.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, you know, as like someone starting out, you always got to be like, I don't know, whether it's like doing something for free for someone big to get your name out there, or, you know, just doing art for very, very cheap, so you get enough people commissioning you, you know, that kind of thing. And then you have a little job on the side. You know, I think that's probably the best way to go about it to begin with. But, you know, until you can get to a point where you're big enough of a name and you can charge people and they'll pay for a ridiculous amount, I think, yeah, that's what you should be doing. Because I see a lot of beginning artists who have a lot of room to improve. And again, they're way more talented than me. Best I can do is a stick figure. But still, I see a lot of people... you know, doing art that has a lot of room to improve, but they're commissioning for crazy prices, and they get no commissions, and then they complain about getting no commissions, and I'm like, you've played yourself.
You need to have some sort of enough for people to believe you, and you need to have some amount of reviews to be like, is this person legitimate, right? Because not everybody's going to be like super gung-ho about meeting somebody that, okay, I have another hot take, goddammit.
Go ahead.
Are you cool with it? Like, as long as you're on the internet, right? Everybody by default assumes you're a loser. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody just assumes you're a loser, like, right off the bat. It's so sucky that everyone just assumes that.
Yeah, there is definitely an amount of truth to that. That's for sure.
So whenever it is that you're like an artist and trying to do something, because I'll be honest, I gave away prop commissions for free. They were expensive as hell to make because I had to make them all by hand. Some of them were like several weeks and like days worth of labor, like in terms of that labor hours. But I still made them. I just realized that might not be the direction I want to be going in at the time. But hey, if I do come across somebody with a design and I'm friends with them and they have a cool prop, I'm still down to make it. Hells yeah, I am. My problem is that whole, like, I need to send this to you. How am I going to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like selling stuff like online as a content creator where you have to know people's addresses, it's always going to be like, are they going to think I'm just a little bit sketch?
Yeah, it's a lot of sketch.
Which, fair enough, you shouldn't be like, yeah, I'll give this random guy I've never met my address. You're smart to be cautious.
They are smart to be cautious, of course.
Who knows if you can trust someone with your address? You might shop.
It's why I want to be friends with a person first before I actually go doing that.
Completely different topic.
I just saw the message in the chat.
Yeah. Have you watched the FNAF movie? Chiffon, have you?
No, and I do not plan to.
Do you care? Is it because you don't like FNAF as a franchise, or is it like it doesn't look good? Or
I've had enough FNAF after. Okay, so FNAF is like Portal. I know that's a weird comparison, right? But FNAF is like Portal in that it has the worst fan base in the world.
Bro, I don't even know Portal has. I've never seen anyone that is like a part of a Portal fan. That game is dead.
No, I mean, it's like all they do is theory crafting.
True.
Yes. Every Portal fan and every like FNAF fan is like insert image of that guy with like the red strings and the cork board behind him going like, it's all connected. It's that guy.
I guess that's those kind of games like FNAF, and it's a lot of indie horror games like FNAF. What's the new one? Poppy Playtime. All of those, the biggest appeal is the lore, and because they don't give it out straight away, people have to theorize and share their opinions, and I feel like that carries the game. Like FNAF, if FNAF didn't have that shit would have died so quickly.
It carries the game, but I don't care.
I guess I get that. It is long. It is long.
Because to understand my problem.
To understand FNAF lore, you got to watch 20 game theory videos.
Yeah, that's the problem
is long.
I have with that.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, I also like FNAF, but I'm not enough. Okay, this is gonna be another hot take. Because I tweeted about the FNAF movie, and someone came at me going, I didn't like how you dissed the FNAF movie. And I'm like, I like FNAF, but I'm not enough of a fanboy to just blindly dick suck anything they give me. I'm going to critique if I like something, I'm extra critical of it because I want it to be the best it can be. I feel like if you just take whatever the fuck they give you, you're the worst type of fan. You should be critiquing, because otherwise they can just give you whatever the fuck they want and you'll just take it.
Well, I guess I'm a terrible fan then. I played the first 2 games. I played the first 2 games and was like, I think I had enough of this for now. I don't want to play peekaboo with a puppet anymore, right? Let's not do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to play these games anymore.
I'm gonna be honest, 3 and 4 suck. They're not good
Maybe
games.
That's the reason I got turned off from it.
Yeah.
I saw the trailers.
You dipped at the right time. a lot of people probably did. Sister Location, which is like I guess a spin-off. It's not really like 5. That one was good, but then I guess the most recent is Security Breach, which is that is the whole thing. I could talk about that game for hours. It's very hit or miss. The DLC was good, but
I mean, is it a good game though? Because that's the thing that draws me in first. Is it a good game?
Yes
Right.
and no. It's
Well,
very
then I'm not gonna
complicated
play
because you can tell. So it's a very big. So the difference is this one's like open world. Basically, it's set in a huge like mall, and you can run around, and it's like you can actually move. It's free roam. You're not just stuck behind watching a camera, which I like a lot more. I like that. I think it's more fun. You can do a lot more with that. But I think basically the game struggles a lot because it's very easy to tell they had an idea of what they wanted the game to be as they were doing level design and all that. But you can very much tell that they didn't stick with that. And they obviously had to change things for whatever reason, probably for budget reasons, to hurry up and get the game out. Because there are like entire rooms that you will come across, and they're very, very, very detailed, and very intentionally it was meant to be something. But in terms of the actual game, it doesn't matter at all. And you're like, stuff like that just very much shows you it didn't turn out to be what they originally had in plan for it. And I think because of that, you can definitely tell, especially to this day, it's still so glitched. It's probably one of the most glitched games I have ever played. Like, stuff just breaks, it doesn't work, you will, like, animatronic will kill you through a wall. That game is so buggy.
A part of me is actually kind of glad to hear there are rooms that have no purpose. Because
it's kind of cool. I like it.
I like the idea of rooms not having a purpose. I just don't think they should throw that much effort into overly detailing things.
Yeah,
because I remember like GoldenEye, they had so many fucking rooms, did nothing. There was just nothing in those rooms. There was just like one dude. You shoot him in the head and that's it, right? And there were what was another game that had a lot of like rooms that did nothing? In Left 4 Dead, right? Those rooms that were empty, sometimes they could have power-ups in them, maybe. I liked that, where it's like you don't know, it's an empty room, but there could be a not emptiness in there. There could be a chest. There could be something in there. So now you want to go in there and check it. It doesn't necessarily serve a purpose per se, but it gives your gamer instinct that if I explore there, I might get something good. I might get this,
See,
I kind of
Security
miss
Breach
those.
is so weird in that it goes a level beyond that, and it's like you will come across rooms that have so much detail. And even then, if you like, there are those that like intentionally, like, I don't know how the fuck, they basically break the game. They like jailbreak it or whatever the fuck, so they can get behind the walls and see all the details and shit that the game doesn't let you see. And there are so many details that they just probably they couldn't like do anything with because they ran out of time in development or whatever. And it's just like there is so much stuff like that. Like there are mechanics that you do once and never again, but it's a really cool mechanic, and it's like they obviously had spent a shit ton of time on that one thing, and it makes zero sense from a development standpoint. But yeah, it's a very weird game. I like it though. I think it's correct to step away from what they've been doing. But yeah, it's a game. It is a video game. The DLC was a lot better. It felt way less like it felt like they had an idea of what they wanted it to be and they stuck with it. But the main game is very, yeah.
I think nowadays indie developers need to focus more on their smaller easier to digest games than
it's
big
interesting.
sprawling. Yeah, go on.
It's interesting you say that because Security Breach was actually the first that the person that is done all the FNAF shit beforehand. He didn't do that one. He had all the ideas for it, I think, but he gave it to an actual developing company because obviously they had enough money. The franchise is big enough now where they can make a movie, so they gave it to actual developers. But even so, like that shit was so. He probably just gave them a bunch of ideas and then they quickly realized they didn't have the budget or the time to do all this shit. Yeah. Oh, game development is rough. It's rough. Also, hello, I see you in chat. We're doing a podcast. I can't say hello to everyone in chat. I'm sorry.
Bonjour, little boy.
But anyway, off topic. We got off topic. The FNAF movie. So I have seen the FNAF movie. It is a 5 out of 10.
It's meh.
It's okay. Like, I purposely also watched it with people that did not know anything about FNAF because I wanted to get their perspective on. Because I was like, I wonder what people that know nothing about this. Because I was completely correct in my theory. I was like, I guarantee if you know nothing about FNAF, this movie is going to be like a 3 out of 10. I feel like a lot of the reason people like this movie is just because it's a FNAF movie, and that's it. That carries the whole fucking movie. And this movie's like broke several records, but it's not a good movie.
I don't know.
It is the acting
I'm not
is.
Gonna watch it then.
Look, if you're just like, man, I gotta like do something. I want something in the background. Perfect movie for that.
Oh, come on! If I'm gonna do that, I'll just watch somebody stream.
But this is Chiffon.
Do you need me to introduce myself again?
Yeah, I guess just a quick little one.
All right, sure. Hello, pretty boy. My name is Chiffon Chevalier. I am a Candyland Knight VTuber. I'm on Twitch and a little bit on YouTube and on Twitter, of course. Pleasure to meet you. I'd like to stream Yu-Gi-Oh! RPGs and I make robots. They're all Twitch controlled. Nice to meet you.
Hopefully we'll get your link in chat, Josh. But
why? What's wrong? Don't tell me it's like is it
Twitch leak?
Yeah. Well, you said it was okay if I plugged myself.
No, it is. We're trying to get it for you. So we can jump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the acting is very not great. If you watch movies at all, you can tell that. But I feel like a lot of people that watch the FNAF movie are FNAF fans, so they don't know what good acting is. I'm gonna upset so many people with this.
Oh my gosh, the hot take of it there.
Hot take, but that's true. I got heavily criticized for calling out the acting of that. People were like, I thought the acting was fine. Look, you're just objectively incorrect. I'm sorry. Like, the acting was not good. If you think that is good acting, you need to watch more shit, dude. Like, come on. You cannot tell me that was good acting. I refuse to believe that if you know what good acting is. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I've not seen it, of course, so...
I want you to watch it so you can, like, next podcast, you can give me an update on what you thought.
I do not plan on watching it now. When you tell me it's a 5 out of 10, I'm just like, okay, so it's average.
If you turn your brain off and you don't look at it in a critical point, you will enjoy it.
Rio, you know me well enough to know I don't turn my brain off.
Exactly.
That's not what I do.
The person that I know you're gonna hate it. But I still want you to watch it.
I never turn my brain off.
I just want to hear you cook the film.
I prefer bake.
Look, okay, I will say, I was a big fan of. They did a lot of practical effects. All the animatronics were made by the Jim Henson Company, who is behind fucking Kermit and the Muppets and shit.
Okay.
So it's all practical. I think it's very cool. I think Chiffon, you would probably like that. As someone that makes god awful creations. Such as
Come on,
remote control
they're
anime
not god
girl.
awful.
Well, they're great, but they're like
vomit.
they curse. Some of them.
They're not that cursed. They're not that cursed. Only cursed enough.
They can be. Anyway. So yeah, that was kind of cool. It stayed very true to the source material in terms of design and looks. But yeah, the story was just like all right. It didn't do anything crazy. Didn't make me, I wasn't surprised.
Were you scared?
No. But again, my opinion is probably not the best because I don't really watch horror movies. I hate horror. But I think the last like horror movie I watched was It. I didn't really find It that scary. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask. But horror games I fucking hate. Absolutely not. But as someone that's played the FNAF games, I think they are, as games, are way scarier than the movie. But the movie, it's PG-13. So they couldn't go too crazy. They couldn't, So I think that probably held them back a lot. I think if they didn't go with the PG-13, they could have done a lot more horror.
Well, they knew their audience, right?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, most FNAF fans are probably in the age range of 5 to...
I didn't do that.
Look, I'm beyond, there are some 30-year-olds as
terrible.
well, so I'm going to say 5 to 30. But it's majority younger audience, I would say. And then they had, I completely was just like, bro, what are they doing? When the animatronics stopped being scary and they had there was a little sleepover, they built a fort. I know, right?
Okay.
You're like, what the fuck?
Wait, what fort made out of what?
Like
pillows
and tables and like blankets. And
okay,
shit.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I did that when I was a kid. That was fun.
Exactly, because there's a kid, and basically, look, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. So if you haven't watched it, fuck off. But again, you're not missing out on much. It was like there's a child, and the child is friends with the animatronics. Because for those that don't know FNAF lore, the animatronics are possessed by dead kids. So
Okay,
they're also kids.
I played 1 and 2, so I knew that part at least. So
Yeah, so basically the kids that are in the animatronics are befriending the main character's little sister, who is also a kid.
Why do you make it
And
sound,
so there's
make
a scene
it
where they
so
basically...
weird saying it's a sister.
They basically get along and they make a little table and pillow fort. And then they all sit together. And it's like... This is the same franchise that murders children, stuffs them in animatronic suits, and the main villain is a walking corpse. What are we doing?
That does not sound like the...
So no, when that happened, I was
Actually,
like, that
no.
took me out of the film, and I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What is this? What am I watching?
Where's the murder, right?
Exactly. And it also, some of the murders looked a little ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was very, very, very cheesy. But a lot of horror movies can be a bit cheesy, so I don't think that's too big of a critique. Even It has some extremely, like, cheesy scenes in it, so I think that's just a horror movie thing. But yeah, it was a 5 out of 10. It was a 5 out of 10. It wasn't that good. But people are praising it on Twitter like it was some next level fucking shit, and it's not. I'm sorry.
I might watch horror movies myself at times, but I'm not looking forward to watching that anymore. I wanted to give it a shot, honestly. I was be like, okay, well, if they're big enough to make a movie, right? And
Look, I really want you to watch it and just next time you hop on the podcast, just have a segment where you
just a recap.
Yeah, where you explain your experience with the movie.
I'm gonna take notes.
Yes,
book ready.
please. I mean, you can. Let's be honest. It's online. It's not hard to find it. I'm not paying a movie ticket to watch it. I'm sorry. That's just Call me out. I don't care. I'm not paying for that shit.
I'm just gonna wait until like I don't know, 3 months from now when I do watch it. It'll be free on YouTube by then.
I mean, you can vary it. I found it. It took me all of like 2 seconds to find it, and it's like in HD quality. It's on Peacock. Yeah, well, we don't have Peacock in Australia, so I guess you're an American. If you don't already have it, I wouldn't buy it. I mean, unless they give you a free trial.
No. I don't do subscriptions. Okay, so I'm also the
Not
weirdo
even the
that doesn't.
Free trial? What?
So I don't do the free trials. I don't do Netflix. I don't do Hulu. I don't do a lot of those. I don't even do Amazon Prime. Like everything that is a non-value added thing to my life, I just cut it out. It's like,
fair.
Okay,
fair.
What am I doing that's gonna, enlighten me in terms of my own personal self? Like, okay, I want to have friends online. That's really, so I'm gonna just subscribe to my friends online and like watch their streams and stuff. What about the like everything else that I watch that's not on stream? Oh, I also watch like educational YouTube. I know that sounds really weird, but I'm just like, oh, I want to learn how to wire this thing. How do I make an H-bridge? Let me learn how to do that. And
he's an engineer, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to learn stuff and like improve my life and what it is that I can do in my skill set with my selection of media, and that's what I do. That I don't watch a whole lot of movies. I don't watch any weird subscriptions and stuff like that. And besides, if you really wanted to watch an anime, you could probably just watch a reaction video on YouTube. Let's be honest.
I hate that, but yeah, you're right. I can't hate on you because you're right. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I probably shouldn't say it, but you can find a lot of stuff without paying for it online. If you just take 5 seconds, it's not that hard.
Yeah, you don't need those subscriptions.
I used to pay for Crunchyroll, and then they upped the price, and I was like, I'm gonna get my anime for free. Fuck this, because shit got too expensive, and they don't even have everything on there. Like some shows, you'd be like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." They don't have it.
I remember back in the day when Crunchyroll used to be a social media site. That's how old I am. Oh
yeah, what? I see. When I found out about Crunchyroll, it was already like what it is today.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but Crunchyroll was one of like the stole, like they would just steal all the anime content, right? And then they became a legitimate like streaming platform.
Yeah, that's right. It used to be like
watching.
It was a competitor to YouTube/Facebook. It was like a Facebook/YouTube thing where you could upload your own videos. But at some point, somebody started uploading, full episodes of anime, and they were like, "Hey, what if we just get the rights for this and start charging people?" And then they turned it into the Netflix for anime, basically, where you just stream that instead. That's basically what it turned into.
I mean, smart on them. They pop off to them.
They found the gap in the market and they filled it.
They did well, but I'm still not paying for it. I'm sorry, Crunchyroll. You don't need me to be giving you money. You guys have enough.
Well, they still have some things on there that are free that I'll happily watch on Crunchyroll. I'm fine with that.
I believe you can actually watch a lot of free stuff, but there are ads, I think.
Yeah, but they are very selective. Do you know they're holding the entire second season of Spy Family hostage until you pay? They'll show you the first season, but they'll be like, "Oh, if you want the second season, you have to pay for that one."
See, yeah, I don't do that. I just go on a different website and I'm just like, it's all there for free.
Yeah. Well,
but
that's
again,
what it feels like.
I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I don't want to get destroyed by companies.
But that's what it genuinely feels like, where they just go like, "Oh, we'll show you the first 3 episodes, but if you want to know what happens after that cliffhanger, you have to pay us."
Exactly. Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, is there anything even out? I mean, there's Jujutsu Kaisen is out this season, which I haven't watched any season 2. Have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, I haven't. I have not
It's
been
good.
watching a lot of anime lately, honestly.
Yeah, kind of same. I mean, there
What
ain't...
was the last anime you think you actually watched?
Oh, I did actually recently. Okay, I did recently rewatch because I already had seen it, but I like it a lot. I think it's good anime.
Rewatching
Noragami.
counts, yeah.
I watched I rewatched Noragami, and bro, have you ever seen it?
I don't think I have, no.
It's so fucking good, bro. It's so good, but they won't do a season 3 because it didn't sell well in Japan, and I'm so tired about it because it's so good. It's so good.
That's where the money is.
I know. Well, that's how just Japan works. If it doesn't sell well in Japan, they're just like, oh, whatever. But a lot of stuff will not sell. Like, I think it was one of those anime that didn't initially do too great, but afterwards it got a cult following and started popping off. But by then, the people producing it did not give a shit about it. But it's like, if they did it, it would do well, but it's just too late.
I think there are way too many like that. I remember No Game No Life was like that.
Oh my god, bro, don't talk about it. Bro, I'm so sad.
Freaking High School of the Dead was like that.
Okay, but that wasn't that.
Right?
I'm not surprised, but that one wasn't good. That the only reason that anime is good is for the plot, if you know what I mean.
Plural. The plots.
True. The plots.
Yeah, you exactly.
I mean, that's like all those, like High School DxD, which is still going. Didn't they recently? Or not recently, maybe a couple years ago. I swear they got a new season. That shit's still going. How?
Wait, as an anime or as like a manga?
As an anime.
Oh my god, what? How?
Yeah, High School DxD. They like a couple of years ago, I think they got a new season. I was like, what the fuck? With an all new studio as well, and I was like, okay. They survived their studio.
The anime story sucked.
Oh, bro, it's so bad. You know what's funny? Because that was one of the first anime I ever watched. Because look, I was a teen. You know what I was.
No, I get it. I get it. You.
I watched a lot of those kind of shows at that age, but now I'm just like, all right, I'm better than this. But secretly, I'll still watch them. So I didn't really give a shit, but I actually did like the plot for like the first season. I was like, okay, this plot's kind of not the actual plot, not the plots. But it also had that.
Sure, yeah.
I was like, okay, it's not bad, and then it just got real ass. Just, like season 2 onwards, it's just like, eh. For the actual, like, if you give it, I don't think anyone's watching it for the story, but yeah.
I mean, okay, so I always want a good story. I want a good story, and if it doesn't really end at the end of an anime, I just feel like they're baiting you into, sinking more time into this thing, and I don't really like that. I'd rather have one anime that has like 12 or maybe 24 tops episodes with a digestible story where there's a decent conclusion and just leave it at that. I'd rather just have a digestible story.
Short and sweet.
Because when I was younger and freaking, the big ones, the Naruto's, your One Piece, your Bleach, right? The big shonen stuff. At the time, they were like new, right? But the moment they get to 100 episodes, I'm like, stop, please. I get it. You come across a new baddie. You go through a training montage. You beat him. He becomes your best friend suddenly, and then you find another baddie.
Just call out One Piece. Just call out One Piece.
That's One Piece. That's basically what a lot of them were. Like Naruto did that for freaking ages.
Okay. I'm gonna have to stop with that. Naruto is heat. We don't talk about Boruto. Boruto is that doesn't exist.
Boruto was trash.
It's so bad, dude. But have you seen the Boruto fans on Twitter?
No, I have not.
They will. It's so weird. It's like they're in a genjutsu themselves because the anime is so bad that they've like tricked themselves into thinking it's good. So if you say anything about Boruto, they will come. I've had Boruto fans attack me because I said it was shit.
The problem I had with Boruto is that they dwell a little too much on the previous cast.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I mean,
give
I
us a
just
real
think-
story that's like a
I
separate
don't know,
story.
but I also feel like the new cast wasn't that interesting. They just felt like mishmashes of the old cast. And I don't like Boruto as a character. He's just like Naruto, but with an ego. And he doesn't have the cool fox thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it, but my first ever like anime I watched was Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball has a special place in my heart. Look,
Okay,
I'm not going to defend it.
Brief pause here. When you say your first anime, what was your first anime that at the time you did not know it was an anime?
I mean, I guess Pokemon, but I wasn't really into it. I had a sibling who was very into Pokemon, and they just bought all like the discs and shit, and they would watch it. But I just thought it was like a cartoon. I had no idea.
I would probably have to say the same thing. Wait, was it Pokemon or Digimon? It was one of the two.
Both.
Definitely
I
one
don't
of the two.
remember. I don't
Okay.
remember which one I saw first, but both. Also, Bakugan.
Bakugan. I don't know about that one.
Yes.
I didn't watch that. All I remember seeing was the stupid balls and being like,
yes.
it's
I used to
Transformers,
have those.
except you could throw them.
Bro, I bought one that was like $150, where like you would buy a bunch of it was like a big set, and all the balls would connect to each other and make a big creature. And then you're like, all right, what do I do with this?
Does it fold up into a bigger ball or no?
No, it becomes like a totally different shape. It makes like a It was kind of cool, actually.
Okay, but
That was a little bit sick.
Okay, if you combine like ball, and ball, I want it to turn into like a really big ball. When you combine,
But you could buy like the storage, like the little things where you would store them. Was a big
yeah, but that's
ball.
cheating. Because
Yeah.
then it doesn't unfold into like a big monster thing. I want.
Yeah, no. Did you ever play DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi? Bro! Yes. Specifically the third one. We don't talk about the rest.
And we do see your messages. Yeah. Go. Goodbye. Get your rest. Have a good time zone. Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
I know Dragon
Sailor
Ball is
Moon was
trash.
one of the
It's
weird
so
ones.
ass. But okay, original Dragon Ball, I will still defend. It's good. DBZ, and we don't talk about Super unless it's the movies.
Don't bring up the option of talking about Dragon Ball movies. Don't do that. It's not.
But the Broly movie and the superhero movie was good. Also, Battle
No,
of Gods.
someone's
but
gonna
rest
bring
of
up the
them
live
are
action. Just be
trash.
careful.
Oh god, I saw that.
Yeah,
Man, that movie was ass.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not talk about that one. If that's
I don't
all right
even
with
think
you.
Dragon Ball fans like that.
Nobody liked that. Not even
Oh,
the
it was
actors.
terrible. It was so bad. Oh my god, bro. But yeah, no, I love Dragon Ball just because it was like the first ever like I knew it was anime, and I watched that shit.
I think the first anime where I knew it was anime. Okay, this is gonna sound really weird. Okay. I had no idea a lot of things that were on Cartoon Network at the time were actually anime. I thought they were just, cartoons with like really bad lip sync. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. That's how I discovered Dragon Ball was on Cartoon Network or Toonami or whatever the fuck.
So when I first had a friend, my brother's, like come in with a DVD of something, and he was like, "Hey, I brought anime." I'm like, "What the hell is that?" Like, we wanted to watch something, right? This is a watch party. Let's watch anime. Well, the DVD he brought was from Love Hina.
Oh my god, what a first anime.
Yeah.
Bro, most people like Naruto or like Dragon Ball or fucking One Piece.
Well, I mean, it was the first
Love
anime
Hina.
that I knew was an anime. Like, I didn't know Pokemon was an anime, right? I
Okay, yeah,
didn't
that's
know
fair,
Cowboy.
though.
Yeah, that was the first anime I knew
You didn't know
was an
Cowboy
anime.
Bebop was.
No, I didn't. I just remember being
I
really
feel like
sleepy.
that's how you
saw
gotta
that.
know. That's like deep enough where you're like, okay, I don't know what is different about this than
But
like
it was-
the other cartoons I watch, but it's different.
It was on TV, and I just thought it was a cartoon. And I thought I was being sneaky, being, freaking 12 or whatever, and staying up late at night going like, I'm gonna watch this really cool cartoon that has guns and stuff in it. That's what I was thought, right? I didn't know it was a freaking anime. And that was awesome.
Bro,
I was like, this thing's got guns and space, and it's like, mercenaries and stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an anime.
Bro, when I saw Dragon Ball and I saw fucking Piccolo throw a blast a hole through he hit a dude through a dude. Holes through their chest. I was like, damn, this shit different.
I do.
You
remember
don't
that
see
scene.
this in fucking.
Well, I think it's because my problem was I caught on to the joke very quickly, and you know what I mean when I say that. You know, how many episodes does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Just call that Dragon Ball. Just call that Dragon Ball.
I mean, that was, I caught that onto Dragon Ball so quick. Just immediately, I went like, well, when are they going to fight?
I was like,
they're just yelling
at
at each
that
other.
point where I didn't really care too much. I was just like, bro, they could do whatever the fuck for an episode and I'll watch that. I could not watch it all now. There's too much just...
Yeah, just get to the fight.
Yeah.
They
should redo it, reanimate it, and just like condense the story for like a newer audience. I think that would be a good idea.
I mean, they're not. Okay, to be fair, our current audience today of people that watch things, they lose attention spans after like 2 minutes from TikTok. They're just so used to it. They're just like, next, next. Oh, there's an ad here. Swipe.
Dude, seeing Piccolo do the finger point gun thing for the... Yeah, bro. And seeing Cell stab a guy and suck him up, I was like, oh my god. That was different, bro. Man, I love Dragon Ball, but it's so trash.
It is great characters, great action, great animation, but the pacing is the problem.
Oh, it's so bad. But I mean, that's just kind of how anime was at that point in time.
At the time, yeah. That's what it was.
They would have to do like filler and shit as well.
No, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, the pacing back then was totally different. Right?
That's just how shit was back then. But also, whenever someone shits on Dragon Ball and they love Attack on Titan or something, I'm just like, you do realize you wouldn't have that shit if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. Because for those that don't know, Shonen Jump does a lot of these, including Attack on Titan, popular anime like Demon Slayer and fucking everything that is popular. And at one point they were not doing so hot, and Dragon Ball came in and saved them. So you wouldn't have a lot of your favorite animes if it wasn't for Dragon Ball. So put some respect.
I mean, they're just carrying, right?
Sure.
That's what it was. That they were carrying.
Dragon Ball fucking carried Shonen at the time. But now they're huge. They're doing just fine. They got Demon Slayer season 55. They're chilling.
No. I don't want to watch an anime that's perpetual. No.
You mean One Piece?
I do not watch.
Have you seen a single episode of One Piece?
So the episode I remember seeing the most recently that I actually remember seeing was when they finished actually getting their crew. Like it was like that early on in the series.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is cool and all that they're like collecting their crew, and it's like, now what?
See, I was just about to say I've only seen the first 500 episodes, but that sentence, if you just look at it, is crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
only 500.
It makes sense for the anime. But
it's like if I'm like, I like One Piece, people are like, you haven't seen One Piece? You're not even halfway. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean there's 6 million episodes to go?
I don't know. The episode where I watched was probably still in the single digits, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. No, probably. But yeah, I mean, that's just how anime was at the time. And I guess because One Piece is still going to this day, it's still kind of the same.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And oh my god, One Piece fans on Twitter are crazy. I'm good. They're worse than Boruto fans. But they're not worse than My Hero fans. Let's talk about it. My Hero fans are the worst. I'm sorry.
I never watched it, so I'm safe.
It's okay. Episode 1, season. Episode 1 is good. The rest of season 1 and 2 are good. Maybe season 3, I kind of forget where shit ends. But it just fell off after that. It just fell off. It's so bad. It's so bad. I kid you not, they have an entire season dedicated to a festival.
Josh is right. A lot of anime fans are just insane.
Exactly.
You're right. You're totally right. But honestly, I feel like it's the anime that's responsible for it.
My hero struggles from the fact that it has to be set in a high school. Because it's like... It's just sort of like... You get whiplash from the fucking story. Because it's like, at one point... Like, all of them are about to die. They're fighting a dude that has every single power. The entire city's at stake. Next episode, math class. It's like, what? How do you go from this to this? Like,
yeah, shouldn't they be celebrating or something? I don't know.
I just think it's like, it's just bad because of that specifically. I think a lot of anime would benefit from not being in a high school setting. For lots of reasons. But that seems to be the very most popular setting, because I guess that's their target audience of people that are still in high school. Or people that peaked in high school.
People that peaked? Wait, are you trying to tell me something?
I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people they're like, man, I miss high school. I don't. Fuck that shit. I don't miss that at all. I'm living much better now.
I do agree with that. I do live a much better life now than I did in high school.
Yeah,
honestly.
but there are people that still wish they could go back. But that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. Kind of going back to that thing I mentioned about how people online tend to assume you're a loser.
Yeah,
that thing. Maybe there's some deflection happening there. Just saying.
Damn, we already hit the 2 hour mark. Okay, we gotta talk about 2 more things very quick, and then we'll probably wrap up. This one I do really want to talk about.
But where is F?
Where is F? I'm gonna cook her when she comes online. I'm cooking her ass in the DMs. But so for those that are on Twitter, you probably have seen it because everyone and their grandma, especially if they're American, was replying to this. I forget who posted it exactly, but on Twitter, basically, they posted that cup noodles are becoming microwavable for the first time ever. And basically, every American ever has responded to that going, what do you mean they weren't microwavable? What do you mean?
Okay, this one, I actually have an experience with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, my mother is a nurse, and she told me a horror story about one of her patients where they microwaved their noodles and had noodles so much that their intestines had a lining of wax inside.
My God.
And they were no longer able to really properly digest the food that they were having. So that's the reason why they had to keep eating so many more noodles. And I immediately went like, I am never microwaving these things ever again. I'm getting a mug of water, microwaving that, pouring that inside of my cup, and then letting it sit for 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Let me cook a little bit. Why are Americans not aware of this amazing invention that us Australians and the British and Europeans just thrive off of? It's called the kettle. What's up with that? Why don't Americans have those? What the fuck?
Okay, when you say a kettle, you have to distinguish. Okay, you mean like the ones that you plug in that are like a teapot kettle that you like put into its little...
You plug it in, it's
on,
like
right?
a little teapot kind of looking thing, and then you flick a switch and it boils. And it does it in like 1 to 2 minutes and you're good to go. If that.
I have because I've graduated between microwaving hot water. I bought one of those Japanese kettles, ones that are like a thermos, that the ones that are like a thermos that keep it forever, and then you press the button,
there's a difference. There's a I forget what that. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean. They
I don't know what they're called, but they're basically a kettle, but it holds the water, at temperature, whatever. So it's hot water on command. That's what I use. And I use that for my cup of noodle too.
Just better.
No.
But every American I
Yeah.
talk to, I'm just like, so how do you get a hot water if you need hot water? And they're just like, oh, just put it in the microwave. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with
You
you?
are right. You are right. A lot of people don't.
No.
They just
Almost every
microwave it.
American I've talked to, they're just like, I just use the microwave. And I'm like, what the fuck?
There is another thing I've heard that, well, I haven't heard it. I saw it at a friend's house. If they wanted hot water, this guy didn't use the microwave. Instead, he turned on the tap, set it to
Oh my
hot,
God.
and he waited 2 minutes for it to become hot, and then he put that inside of his cup.
Bro, but like, I don't know. I don't trust the tap water in America, especially if you're in California.
In the United States, you can have, the water out of the tap, but okay, so brief aside here, if you're a traveler, do not drink the tap ever, because your body's not used to the chemistry and the biology that's in the water that's local to wherever it is you're going. You don't know how your body's going to react. You want to get hot boiled water, drink that, or go out of a bottle. Those are you want to go with that, right? Or if there's something that has like a clear filter on it, then that's fine. But when you're living here, you could drink the tap, and because I even mentioned that I look into those sort of things. The amount of water you'd have to drink to have the equivalent amount of like dangerous chemicals in your body is about the quantity of a bathtub.
Oh,
so,
damn. Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, excluding the whole water poisoning thing, but the contaminants that are in the water itself. If you wanted enough of those contaminants to poison yourself to die, you'd have to have multiple bathtubs worth of it. But enough for you to have like any negative symptom at all, you'd need at least one bathtub. You're never drinking that much in a day. Never.
Oh my god, I just saw my editor Josh. I didn't see the message before, but he said they weren't microwavable. What? Yeah, so basically what so many Americans are saying is they would pour water into a cup noodle thing and they'd put that in the microwave. You're not meant to do that. That is
it's not on the instructions.
That is road to get microplastics in your system. That is terrible. And it has a warning. You're not meant to do that. But I just thought this was funny because it's like every American ever responded to this. And they were like, wait, what? What do you mean?
No, they're not. They're not microwavable.
You're not meant to. Oh my god. Bruh, yeah, I don't know. Americans just use the microwave for everything. I don't understand it.
Oh, you're right. I still use the microwave for a lot of things. I still occasionally use it for bacon. I feel terrible for that.
What did you just say?
I use the
Fucking
microwave for bacon.
Bacon? You put raw bacon in the microwave to cook it.
Well, I use a special little tray thingy that like drains it from its oils and stuff too. But yeah, sometimes I microwave my bacon.
What the fuck? Bro, Americans are built different. That's crazy.
Okay, that's when I'm in a rush. Otherwise, I will be
Have you guys heard of this
pan.
great thing called a pan? And you put it on this other thing called a stove?
I do that. It's just when I'm in a hurry, I'll microwave it. Okay, when I'm in a rush in the morning.
Bro, that's crazy. My bacon that's just next level. I've never heard that. That is... that is insane.
I cannot believe that I'm blowing your mind. If you thought people were going to be like confused about microwaving instant noodle, then you're going to be surprised by microwaving bacon.
I just didn't realize Americans were like this. I know it was bad, but like this is... I don't know it was this bad.
Okay, name something and we probably can microwave it. Probably.
God, what should not be microwave? Let me think of something that should not. Honestly, most things. I guess if you're trying to cook like any meat, I just don't think. Like a raw steak.
Raw steak. There is a tool you could buy to do that.
Oh my god.
There's like a unit you could put inside of the microwave that lets you cook a steak. There is something for that. Metal. Okay,
No.
I have a counter example.
Yeah, okay. I don't think any Americans, or at least the smart ones, if there are any.
Counter example. Have you ever had a Hot Pocket? If you look inside that little sleeve, you need to put the Hot Pocket inside. There's a little bit of metallic in there, so technically, you could do that. And I'm gonna blow your mind here for a brief second. Okay, if you get a bowl, microwave safe bowl, right? Fill it with water and salt, really saturate it with salt. I mean, like crazy amounts of salt. Dip a fork inside of that and microwave the entire thing with a fork in it. You will notice that it's not going to spark.
But why would you ever do this?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so what's really happening is, because I'm an engineer, right? I know the science behind this shit. What's happening is the magnetron, the way it functions, causes induced currents inside of itself that accelerate, using electromagnetic pulses, basically, to accelerate water molecules, right? The water is heating up. Yes, there you go. It makes it so the arcing across the tines jumps across the sodium instead. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
The electricity is no longer arcing across the air. It's not arcing through the water. It'll actually heat up the water, but locally around there. It won't spark, given it enough, a small enough amount of time. Eventually it will, because of course it'll boil it up and all that other stuff. And the moment you get a gas bubble inside of there, it will spark inside of the water.
Bruh.
So there are ways
man.
around it, because if you had to make a giant rule saying that you're not allowed to have metal in the microwave, I'd love for somebody to try to tell me how it is that the microwave is made of metal.
Sure. Bro, I don't know, magic. Me, I'm just like, I did engineering I don't have an engineering degree. I have it's above high school level engineering, but not good enough that it's we have a separate education thing, and it doesn't matter. I have some qualifications in engineering, but I don't care to look into it like a microwave. I'm just it's a magical box. That's all I need.
I mean, I want to make a microwave cannon.
See, you're just different. See?
Okay, look. Do you want to make popcorn like a peasant by standing up and putting that bag inside the microwave?
Yes,
God,
I'm happy with that.
For me, I'm just I'm built different. I'm just going to point this gun at the bag and microwave it from my couch. Let's do it that way. That's way cooler.
It's funny because someone brought up Marco Roba, and Chiffon is like Marco Roba if you went down the wrong path.
Okay, no, I don't have the budget that he has, of course. I mean, the guy orders custom PCBs.
Sure,
much that is to get buy one, because that's really expensive. And then he ends up getting several thousand. Yeah, there's a certain amount of scale that he's able to do that a lot of us other engineers just can't.
But I'm, you know what? Maybe part of me is glad you don't have that amount of money, because I'd be afraid of what you would do. What creations you would create if you had infinite money.
Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would bring my Redeem machine into proper development, then have that commercialized so that I can shake everybody's butts live on air.
Out of context, that's so crazy. Do you want to explain just very briefly what the thing is?
Okay, well, when I was mentioning that I make robots on Twitch that you get to control through Twitch, there are many things, but one of them is the motors that vibrate that I built into my chair, which lets you literally shake my ass live on Twitch.
So if you want to go do that, go check out Chiffon.
It occurs with every subscription, or with about 7,000 channel points.
Oh my god, that's so great, bruh. You're just different.
But no, that's totally what I would do. I would be like, I'm gonna make this a legit product. I probably should, but we need that. There are a few problems with it, in that
this is you need your hands sometimes.
Yeah, I only have 2 hands. Surprise, surprise. Like I gotta play something that only requires 1 hand.
Use your chin to like move the mouse.
That's why I said I need to have a game that I could play with my feet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a game you could like if you have like I know Elgato has like the little. I'm sure you've seen like the little foot pads.
Oh, I don't need Elgato to do that.
Aren't you making or have made your own?
Yeah, I have my own.
Yeah,
I have my own foot pedals.
I'm sure you could. There's like games you could like. Oh my god! If you could play like Overwatch or like whatever fucking FPS game with foot pedals, you should do that.
Oh
That'd
god,
be a great stream.
No.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, and here's the weirdest thing: if I tell people I'm playing a game with my feet, they're gonna ask for a feet cam.
Oh my god, Chiffon! Genius idea. Instead of just hand puppets, you have your feet controlling, and you have the foot cam, but your foot has the sock puppets on it. Genius idea.
Okay, now I need like, oh man, it doesn't fit on my feet.
You can have like actual socks. Oh my god.
I don't know about that one. People are still going to fetishize it. Just watch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Oh my god, feet pics." Just one feet pics. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't believe it. It's spicy. No.
Chiffon sounds like the divine villain who's really smart. True.
This is my divinity. You cannot stop this. Yeah.
Accurate. And I guess the final topic, which isn't it's not really a topic, it's more of a statement, is Christmas is coming up. Are we excited? Do we care? Are we doing any special streams or anything?
So there was a kind of a last minute thing where there were some family problems, personal stuff. Ended up having to loan a little bit of money out. So I don't know if I could fly down to visit the family anymore this year. I'm not really sure if I can do that. So now that I'm stuck at home, right, I'm gonna have to find something on stream to do to celebrate Christmas.
24-hour Christmas stream with sock puppets.
Bro, do you know how tiring those to my hands? Oh my god.
For 24 hours.
After 4 hours, it's already a pain in my wrist. Oh, it's terrible. And maybe what I'll do is okay, so I haven't even made Flandra yet. I haven't made the other sock puppet yet. So maybe I'll make her on stream, get my sewing machine and start making the sock puppet. I don't know. I'll make her for Christmas. Actually, wait a minute.
You can have like a chiffon, like stocking, like Christmas stockings. You can have a chiffon.
A chiffon stocking
for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I totally could. I could totally do that. Absolutely. And you know what? Stuff for Christmas is already on sale right now where I am. So, I could probably do that. It'll be the Christmas version of the sock puppet, yeah.
You should do that.
But now that I'm thinking about it, Halloween just ended, right? I saw some Halloween candy that were like gingerbread houses.
What?
And I bought one. I'll take a picture of it later. I'm gonna eat it, but I bought one. It's like gingerbread houses, but it's like Oreos, so they're black, and they've got little bats on them, little candy bats.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I should do something like that for Christmas. Just buy like several of those. I'll make that the backdrop. Oh, I'm not done. Make this tiny village out of gingerbread, and then I get the sock puppet and I have him terrorize it like Godzilla.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
I'm just smashing gingerbread houses.
You should make like little people in there as well.
Little stick figures made out of absolute,
yeah, like little
actual popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll write names of some of my friends on them, so it looks like I'm eating them. So I can finally get back at everybody for threatening to eat me.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't really.
What about you?
I don't really have any Christmas streams ideas. I don't, because I guess like a lot of the people do like pumpkin carving for Halloween. But yeah, I don't. What do you? I guess gingerbread houses are like the equivalent, like making one,
I guess,
or destroying it.
I mean,
in Siobhan's case.
I mean, snowmen. If it snows where you are, I don't know.
It does not. There are very, very limited places in Australia that get snow. It's too hot.
I figured as much. Yeah,
it gets crazy hot over here. Gift
No, it
your
doesn't snow
editor
where
a
I am
PS5. Oh, I can't. No. No.
a PS5.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, there are more available now. I remember last year I couldn't. There were freaking like armed guards at Walmart when they were trekking the guy out. You know how they have like you can park our car outside if you order online.
Yeah,
they'll take it to your car, right? I saw them like escorting the guy from Walmart. He's just like a regular dude, and he's carrying a PS5. And you see like two guards walking to the car. I was like, "Oh my god, the hell!"
Damn. You know, you're going pretty
Yeah.
easy right now. It's just
Well, now, yeah. But
Um,
last year, it was impossible to get your hands on a PS5.
I've actually had mine for. I got very, very lucky. I was like try harding to get one. I was in like a Discord where they would tell you if they had, like they found a site that was doing them, and they would ping you straight away. And I didn't even do that. That's not even how I found it. I went on the Sony website, because Sony also on their own website sells them.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the PS5 section, and it was all sold out. And then I was like, I'll just refresh once and see, you know, maybe I'll get lucky. I refreshed once, and it became in stock.
Wow.
And then I bought one, and the second after I bought it, and then I refreshed, they were sold out.
Oh my god.
I got so lucky with how I got on.
I don't know.
So I've had mine for like probably 2 years now. I got
crazy,
very lucky.
dude.
Yeah, I
you
got
it during the height.
Oh yeah, no, I got it during the
yeah.
worst part. I got it like at the worst part to get a PS5. It was ridiculous to get one. Like
You
even
got
if you have the
really
money, like shit's expensive enough. But even if you have the money, like at that point, that wasn't the only like hurdle. You'd actually find one to buy.
I thought they were going to be much more available last year, but it's like no.
No,
that was around the time they were freaking scalpers were charging like $1,500 or something like that for PS5.
See, I'm not looking forward to the PS6 or the fucking whatever it is. I know that's just going to be even worse. It just gets worse every new console. It just gets so bad. Gonna be waiting 3 years to get one.
Well, I mean, I don't have a PS5 myself. I've been waiting. I don't have. In
Bro,
fact, the only
Spider-Man
thing I
2,
have
when you
is
get the chance, Spider-Man 2 is so good.
I only have PC. That's all I have. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the, like, whatever the fuck the Xbox is at the moment, because if you have a PC, I don't see the point in getting an Xbox.
If you have a PC, it's really hard for you to justify getting a whole console. There's so many more game options. The only thing is, like, if there's that one game you have to play.
Yeah, I guess the only appeal for like a PS5 is because they have exclusives, and you can't get all of them on a PC. So that's the only. Whereas Xbox, like all their shit is also on PC.
Well, that's the reason why so many people still buy Switches, right? They're like,
and I guess the Switch too.
I have to play Zelda. I have to play Smash Brothers. I have to. It's Mandatory.
Bro, Switch 2, we need it. I need that. They won't do it.
Switch 2.
Maybe in 5 years. That shit is so underpowered. It sucks.
I'm just waiting for Switch to like have an attachment that's the callback to the N64 with the thingy in the middle.
Oh my God.
You have the two Joy-Cons and you have the thing sticking out of the middle. It's like, hey, look, this is the Switch 2. It now has the Switch 64.
Bruh. Steam Deck on top. Bruh. But that is, we're at what, we hit the 2 hour 30. This is going to be a long podcast episode. But I think that's about it. We've gone through pretty much all the topics that we had for today and more. So I think we're going to leave the podcast there, I think. Is there anything you want to shout out or anything?
Well, I already plugged myself a whole lot. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
You can plug yourself again if you want.
Sure. Siobhan Chevalier. I'm on YouTube and on Twitter and on Twitch. Make robots. Apparently, I'm like yeah. I guess you could say I'm the VTuber version of Mark. I've also heard some people compare me to Michael Reeves. Like,
yes, that's true. That's
I know.
He is next level.
Are,
He builds robots that murder babies.
I know. Okay, I know. And I've also gotten Markiplier. They said that my voice is too deep or something like that.
I see that. That's just the deep voice thing. I feel like if you have a deep sort of silky smooth voice, people are just like Markiplier.
I don't know. If it's not Markiplier, it's Daddy.
I'll take that.
I'm not joking. It's like, oh, who's your daddy? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
That's about it.
And yeah, but most of you know my shit. But if you don't, go ahead and check out the Patreon. We have a Patreon. We have a new video coming out soon, I believe. Josh AO. So get prepared for that, and of course check out Chiffon. And don't check out Zeph because she didn't show up.
Oh, I'm telling her you said that.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. But yeah, that's going to be it for the podcast today, guys. Appreciate it. If you missed out on some of the podcast, this will be not on my channel, but this will be on the podcast YouTube channel, which let me plug that right here. But if you're not watching this live, it should be in the description as well, or if you just want to search up on YouTube, it's the Virtual Vibes Podcast. And yeah, we got another episode next week as well, I think, or the week after that, I forget. But yeah, so we'll be back. We'll be doing these more frequently, hopefully with more than hopefully less scuff. We'll see. We need to find a way to get Zeph in line. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I appreciate y'all joining me, and yeah, goodbye. Do you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, see everyone later.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye.